So in the last class, we have discussed about how to write styling. Last class లో స్టైల్ ఎట్లా రాస్తారో చూసాం. Today we are going to discuss more about properties, more properties. Yesterday I gave you background color, okay, and font, color, all these kind of things, right? Today we are going to see few more things like box model. Okay, what exactly the box model is. Some of the textbooks and some of the websites speak about selectors more. Okay, first they speak about the selectors, then they speak about other things, but let us not do that. First we'll understand as many as properties then and conceptual wise, then we will go for selectors, what is the purpose of selectors and all. Okay, so RB 18. So here yesterday this is what we have discussed. Okay, yeah. So background color, this is what we have done yesterday. Some now let us understand what is box model. Okay, so what is the shape occupied by a water drop? ఒక వాటర్ డ్రాప్ ఏ షేప్ ని ఆక్యుపై చేస్తుంది? వాట్ ఈస్ ద స్పియర్, రైట్? లైక్ దట్ every molecule has its own shape of occupancy, right? Okay, occupancy in the sense, what is it? Size, shape, it will occupy. Now when we create an element, what is the shape it will occupy? Okay, so every element occupy a box like a tile. You see the tile? Can you see the tile of your కింద టైల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా మన కాళ్ళ కింద, ఆ టైల్స్ చూడండి. You will have a box, right? TV has a box like this. You have every element will have a box. That means this entire division is occupying as a box. This H1 is occupying as a box. This entire body is occupied as a box. So let us run that code. So what do I do is, just for show you something, I am applying something which is not known to you, just to explain you something. Star. Oh, wait. Okay, can you see here?
Yes, sir.
This is your hello Edipoly in the aqua color is one H1. H1 occupied as a box or not? That is full width of the page. And the pink color hello Edipoly occupied also a box. And hello Edipoly, this whole division occupied a box. Inside that there are two H1s, they are also occupied as a box. Outside that, outside these divisions, you have body. That body also occupied as a box. Can you see this? For example, body BG color is equal to red. So the entire body occupied as a box. Okay, but actually what happened is there is a margin applied to that, so the okay, body occupied from the not actually body is not that. In fact, Body is from here. This is the body. Okay. So that is the whole viewport. BG color applied to the whole viewport. Okay. Anyways, so overall, what you have to understand is every element in the HTML occupies as a box. That is the first point, and that is what actually called as box model. Okay. Once you understood box model, what are the other things comes along with the box model? Every element will have certain properties. That means box will have certain properties. What are the properties we have to the టీవీ బాక్స్? ఇప్పుడు ఒక టీవీ బాక్స్ ఉంది, అక్కడ టీవీ కనపడుతుంది. ఆ టీవీకి ఉన్న ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఏంటి? వాల్యూమ్, ఛానల్స్ ఇవి కాదు, అంటే ఫిజికల్ గా ఉన్న ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఏంటి? టెక్నికల్ గా కాదు, ఫిజికల్ గా. ఫిజికల్ అంటే ఫిజికల్ గా ఉన్న ప్రాపర్టీస్, నాట్ కలర్ కాంబినేషన్స్. హైట్, విడ్త్, డయాగనల్ గా ఎంత సైజ్ ఉంది, రైట్? అండ్ ఇప్పుడు మీ ఇంట్లో టీవీల కంటే మా బేజల్ అసలు ఉండకపోవచ్చు. మేబీ యు ఆర్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎనీ బేజల్ ఇన్ యువర్ టీవీ, బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ అవర్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ టీవీ, హౌ మచ్ బేజల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్, ఇంత పెద్దగా ఉంది చూడండి. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ padding. I'm coming to that. Anyways, I will explain you. So there is some padding, there is some margin. Huh? So these are all the properties of, there is some width, there is some height. What are these called as? Box model properties. Every box will have these properties, isn't it? Do you agree with me? Like the same, every element will have these properties. Okay, so we can adjust those properties. We can there is a separate property called border. That is what I have applied over here. Every element will have a property called border. This border property will be there for every type of element. Some elements don't have width property, some elements don't have height property. Okay, for water, do we have width property? For water, మనకి వాటర్ కి విడ్త్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఉంటుందా?
No, sir.
యా. ఫర్ ఎయిర్ ఉండదు, హైట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, హైట్ కూడా ఉండదు. ఓకే, సో దట్ పర్టికులర్ వాటర్ విల్ హ్యావ్ హైట్ అండ్ విడ్త్ విత్ ద షేప్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్స్ కంటైనర్. ఓకే, సో వాటర్ కి ఏమన్నా మార్జిన్ ఉంటుందా? నో, వాటర్ డజంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ మార్జిన్. ప్యాడింగ్, నో, right? So every element, every particular property may not have property, అంటే ప్రతిదీ దానికి హైట్ విడ్త్ ఉండకపోవచ్చు కదా, బట్ బార్డర్ ఉంటుంది in HTML. So let us see what are the different things. I'll explain you what is the star. Okay, just wanted to show you that is quite possible. So okay. So this H1 is having background color. So even background color is also able to help us to understand that is also have that background, the background color is applied to a box. That means that H1 is occupying a box. So to this box we have some properties. Let us say box model properties. First property, border, border. So now this H1 doesn't have any border. The border is 0px. If I apply border 10px solid, you will get to the border of this size. So whatever we got, it is, come on, border. This black color is completely called border. So to give the border, we have three properties here. For border property, I'm sorry, not property. For border property, we have to give minimum of two combinations, two things. One is its width, another one is its shape. I said solid. Okay. Instead of solid, if I give dotted, it give you dotted border. Okay. If I give dashed, you get a dashed border. That's up to you what kind of border you want. If you give inset, there is one more type called inset. You will get this kind of border. Can you see this? It looks like a button. Am I right? So this kind of, this particular second property is very much important. Inset is like the top two borders will come in this color with this cut, and bottom two will have the same shade. Suppose if you give, you can give third property also, that is color. When you give the color, the red color will be applied onto the bottom, and the dark side of that bottom color will be applied to the top. Okay, like this, the red color will be distributed. This is the border I am talking about. So these are the three properties, these are the three values you can supply to a border, but you have to give this style. This is called as style. This is called border style. This is called as border width. This is called as border color. How many properties we have? How many values we have? Three set of values to a single border. Even if you don't give color, that is okay, but you have to give the width and style. Okay. Yeah. You have another option that you can specifically, you can give only to the left side, or only to the right side, only to the top, or only to the bottom. This is also possible. How is that possible, sir? If I say border, in that case, you have to give separately. First, you have to give border style is solid. After that, border width is 10 px. So what will happen? That border is applied to all the directions. But if I give border left width, you can see you got only the left width. Hello. And remaining three sides, you are getting the default width for the border. And if you want only to the left width, you please put it as left style and left width, so that only to the left side you will be getting that border. Okay. So if you give, anybody wants to ask me something? Yeah. So if you want to give only to the top, that is also possible. Only to the top, that is also possible. Okay. So border style, yes, top style, bottom style, yes, you can give top, left, right, and bottom. Top, you have to read it like this. For every box, the directions will be, first it will be applying top, then right, then bottom, then left. This is the clockwise direction. Okay. Okay. Border width. Okay, fine. So just understand these things. Hope you understood what is border. Next, there is one more property called, let me have only border one single thing, one px solid, otherwise 5px. Okay, instead of aqua, let me give some other color. So now we have to understand the next aspect is for every text, this is called content, right? Whatever we have inside that box is called content. There is no space between content and the border. Border and content doesn't have any space. If you want some space, you can provide that by using a separate property called padding. Padding is equal to, suppose if I said 10px, the 10px padding will be applied in all the directions. Of course, because we don't have much content, so right side you have so much space. But yes, the padding is only this much. And from the bottom also you have padding this much. And from the left you have padding, and from the top you have padding. I hope you can see this. Yeah. What is padding? I hope you understood. Yeah. So if you want to give padding for all the directions, then you can use 10px and 20px. So what does it do is, it will apply 10 pixels and 10 pixels to the top and bottom. And for the right and left, it will apply 20. You can see there is more space. If you are unable to see that, go with 50. Yeah. There is more space on the left. Of course, on the right also you have, but you don't have the content, so it is not showing up. From the top and bottom, you have only 10 pixels. Only 10 pixels. Okay. So like this, you can have padding in top, bottom, and right, left. But at the same time, you can give shorthand way with the 10 pixels, 50 pixels, 20 pixels, 100 pixels. Imagine if I give like this. Just now I told you that this box model properties will take up in the clockwise direction. Whatever the values I am supplying to padding, these values will be taken as a clockwise direction. So the 10 pixels will be applied on the top, 50 pixels will be applied on the right, 20 pixels applied on the bottom, and 100 pixels applied on the left. ఏంటది? Huh? Ten, 20, of course, it is more than 50. I mean, you don't see that. In the left side, you have only 100 pixels of the width. Okay. Yeah. So overall, this is about your padding. Next, let me have proper width to the top. Okay. Let us not have top style. This one. So, hello Edipoly, this particular box and this particular box has some space. This space is coming because of H1. H1 has its own style. Let us replace the H1 with a division. So you can see this division and this division. For understanding more better, let us have a better color contrast. And border also, not this much. Okay. So if you see, do you find any space between one element to another element? ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ కి ఇంకొక ఎలిమెంట్ కి మధ్యలో ఏదైనా స్పేస్ ఉందా? డూ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ స్పేస్ బిట్వీన్ ఎలిమెంట్స్? నో. That's the whole problem. Not problem. You may need sometimes the space. So to get the space between sided elements, beside elements, we have to use a property called margin. So what does it do is it will create a space between the border and other elements. You can see some space between your border and other element. 10 pixels of space you can observe over here. Am I right? This is called as margin. So what is the difference between padding and margin? Padding is the distance between border and content. Border ki content ki మధ్యలో ఉండే స్పేస్ ని padding అంటారు. Border ki బయటకి ఉండే స్పేస్ ని, అదర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కి మధ్యలో ఉండే స్పేస్ ని మార్జిన్ అంటారు. This is the difference. Okay? Yeah. Next. So we have seen so far three major points. One is border, padding and margin. But we have to learn more things after this. Okay, let us understand one more property called width. What the hell is this? Just now we understood that every element will occupy some width as a box, but unfortunately every element need not to be occupied the full width of the page. By default, some elements will occupy the full width of the page and some elements will occupy only the content how much it is having. For example, tell me A elements occupy full width and B elements occupy only the width for content. It will occupy only the width for content. And the content unte only that much width will be occupied. Okay. See here, this edge poly, because I have given margin, so it is coming. But can you tell me this pink color element and blue color element are A kind of elements or B kind of elements?
A kind of element, sir.
Enduku?
Full width తీసుకుంది.
It's occupying full width, sir.
What happened there? It is occupying full width of the page. Very good, very good. Yes, exactly. So there are certain elements. Let us see. Let me show you those elements. That is called as I, Indian Best Training for JavaScript. So here I have some content, but whether it is, how can I identify whether it is occupying full width of the line or only the amount it is needed? ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయొచ్చు అంటారు?
బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ కలర్ కానీ బోర్డర్ కానీ ఇస్తే ఒక ఐడియా వస్తుంది.
Very good. So if I apply the border, automatically I can able to see that style is equal to border 1px solid. Without the style you can't have it. Okay, so can you tell me Indian Best Training Institute అని అన్నాను కదా, ట్రైనింగ్ ఫర్ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ అని అన్నప్పుడు అది ఎట్లా ఉంది? Is it occupying full width or only so it is occupying only the width for content. It is not occupying more than that. So it is a type B, but actually it is having the name. those elements which occupy full width of the page are called as block elements. The elements which occupy only the amount which is required are called as inline elements. So which is inline element in this?
The B,
Last
sir.
one.
B.
I. Which is block element? Division.
Division.
So we
Division.
have to know what are the out of all the HTML elements, which elements are coming under block elements and which elements coming under inline elements. First things first, H1 to H6 are block elements. You have already seen here, isn't it? These H1s were occupying full width of the page or not?
Yes, sir.
These all H1s were occupying full width of the page, right? So all the H1s are block elements. Next, divisions, paragraphs, UL, LI, tables, form, tables kaadu, table, form, of course TR also a block element, form, division, paragraph, UL, LI, table, form. These are basically the block elements. That means they occupy full width of the page. UL, LI, OL also, of course. Yeah. What are the inline elements I have? Inline elements are, for your surprise, image. So img tag is an inline element. Okay, so it occupies only how much it required. And anchor tags and input elements. That is another surprise. Input elements don't occupy full width of the page. It will occupy only the amount it required. That means whatever the default width it is having. Image A input I B or paragraph is block element. Pine already ఇచ్చేసాను నేను. B strong. These elements are basically inline elements. Mostly these are the block elements. Okay, there are whatever the other elements are there, according to their behavior you will identify whether it is inline or block. మీకే అర్థమవుతుంది కదా మీరు రాసినప్పుడు. If it is occupying full width it is block, if it is not occupying full width it is inline. So
Button also,
sorry,
button also same.
yeah,
inline.
input elements, input button is also inline element. Select all the input elements, text area, day. Okay, is it fine?
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, let us try to understand what exactly this width property does. Okay, so now if I have a H1, I mean to say, okay, if I have a division, in that division let's learn CSS box. So this division will occupy the full width of the page or only certain amount?
Full width, sir.
So here I am already saying that division is a block element and నేను ఇక్కడ అది కూడా రాశాను full width అని, ఇంకా అట్లా చెప్పడం కరెక్ట్ కాదు. So division occupies full width. So if I apply style BORDER border 1px solid, it shows you the full width of the page, right? Yeah. Now you can reduce the width of the page. I mean to say, sorry, you can reduce the width of the division by doing like this. Width, the spelling is width colon 200 pixels. So now let's learn CSS box is occupying only 200 pixels. Imagine it is having more content. So does it occupy full width?
It wrapped down, sir.
Only 200 pixels width.
Only. So whatever the width you have mentioned, it is adjusting only in that width, and if it needed, it is occupying automatically the height more. Okay, that is block level property, and this is what width property is, right? I am coming to the height property, but I had to tell you about block elements are little dangerous. What dangerous? Yes, sir, I have this much of width. Happy. If I don't give this width, then it takes the full width of the page. That is okay. After this, I'll tell you 1 second. Why after this I have a B. B is what? B. Okay. So Praveen Gubbala comes over here. So let us apply the style to this also. So now just try to understand. Suppose, first thing, even if there is a lot of free space after its content, still the Praveen Gubbala is not coming over here. దీని తర్వాత ఈ లాస్ట్ లో ఇంకా చాలా స్పేస్ ఉన్నా సరే, దీని తర్వాత ఇంకా చాలా స్పేస్ ఉంది కదా, అయినా సరే ఇది ఇక్కడ రాట్లా. That means block elements, whether it is having some leftover space or not, it still occupy full width of the page. How stupidity is that? If an MP comes to a movie, should we give full row of the seats to MP? Whether he needs only 1 seat or 2 seats? Not necessary, right? ఎంత అన్యాయం అది? ఆలోచించు, వేరే ఆలోచించు. మొత్తం ఇచ్చేసేలా ఇట్లా. The same thing is here. Block elements will occupy always full width of the page even if there is some left. Sir, that is psycho element. Psycho. This is psycho. Now it is occupying only this much. Still, because I am a division, I am a block element, I will occupy full width. This is my nature. Okay. Very good. This is such a psycho element that even if you condense the width, now I'll condense the width is 300 pixels. I reduced the width of that division is only 300 pixels. Still it is not allowing the next line to come into the same place. Praveen Gubbala is begging, నాకెంత స్పేస్ కావాలి సార్, I need only little bit of space, please adjust me to the next. No, it is not allowing. Okay, anyways, so this particular point is very, very important to understand the behavior of CSS. CSS is not an easy nut to crack, not even like a JavaScript. JavaScript is much easier than CSS. The only reason behind it was you guys don't concentrate on these foundations. Without learning and understanding what is the behavior of an element, box model, if you try to do anything, it is biscuit, especially in terms of CSS. So let us see this. So box model, that means block elements occupy full width of the page and it will always push the following line of code to the next line. Okay, suppose just beside the B, I have an I. Okay, even this I is also having some style. So now if I refresh this page, okay, now can you see this? This learn from scratch, that means B and I are coming side by side. Why?
Because div is not specified there, sir.
Huh?
Both are inline elements.
Both are inline only.
మరి ఇందాక ఏదో అన్నారు. So B is an inline element. So it occupies only how much it is needed and it will not push the following element into the next line. I is also an inline element. It is coming in the just beside the B. Isn't it? So both B and I are inline elements. So they come in the same line. That is why their name is inline, in the same line. దానికి ఆ పేరు ఎందుకు వచ్చింది? Inline. All the inline elements occupy in the same line. Beside to that, I can give image something like this, image src. Okay, so Farhan Akhtar is coming on the same line. Hello, Praveen Gubbala led from the scratch and then Farhan Akhtar. Okay, అలా కనపట్లేదా మీకు? Is Farhan Akhtar coming on the same line or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
నేను ఫర్హాన్ అఖ్తరు, నేను ఇమేజ్ ట్యాగ్, నేను కింద వస్తా, వేరే ట్రైన్లో వస్తా అంటే కుదరదు. Image tag is also inline element. It will come in the same line. It will never start from the new line and it will never occupy the full width of the page. Okay, but yeah, so these are the behaviors you have. Okay, I'll explain you how to convert inline elements to block elements and block elements to inline elements. Okay, now let us understand. So how to convert inline elements to block to inline? Is it really possible? 100% possible. Why not? Let us first take those kind of elements. I have a division. This division is first division. And here I'll apply style is equal to background color light coral. Background color is light coral. Is it okay? Now I try to apply some width to it. width is 200 pixels. So it occupied only 200 pixels. And I will have little bit of, okay, let us not have anything. But I'll have some other second division as well. And it is having some blue color. So where this blue color division comes, both will come side by side or one after the other. Take time and tell me the answer.
One after the other.
One after the other, sir.
Should doctor?
Yes, sir.
Why one after the other?
Because both are block level elements.
Very good. Both are block level elements. Which both are block level elements?
First division, second division.
Very
First
good.
and second division.
First division and second division. Division is basically block level elements. So both will come one after the other. Perfectly fine. Okay. But if I make this particular first division as display property, there is a property called the display. In the display property, if I give inline block, not inline, inline block, this division gets converted into inline type of element. I repeat, this division will be converted into inline type of element. A type look మారిపోయింది అది inline type look మారి. So ఇప్పుడు ఎలాగా how it will happen?
It gives place to next division.
మళ్ళీ చెప్పు.
Division come to the same line, which is having the image and
The first division and second division comes on the same line. Unfortunately not.
no.
Second division also.
ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ డివిజన్ ఇన్లైన్ అయింది కాబట్టి అది పైకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ ఫాలోయింగ్ ద నో దట్స్ వాట్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఈస్. ఓకే, this division, as because this division has become inline, it is following the top inline elements. దీని పైన కూడా inline elements ఉన్నాయి కదా, కాబట్టి దాని పైకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. But why this division is not coming on the top? Because I have not converted this division into inline, right? Okay, so for the time being, let me remove this. So now both this, the red color division and blue color division are coming one after the other. First division and second division are coming one after the other. Why? Even if I have converted the first division into inline block, still it is coming, because yes sir, this got converted into inline, but this is not inline, so this will always occupy from the new line, right? So if I convert this into display inline block also, this also into inline block, they are coming now, come on, side by side. Side by side in the sense, in the same line. They are coming on the same line. This is what the concept of converting block level elements into inline elements. You may ask me one question. When already inline elements do this behavior, inline elements ఇదే behavior ని already చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మీ నొప్పి ఏంటి? What is your problem to use this block elements and converting them into inline block? I told you one more thing, that is width, that is box width property can be applied only to block or inline block elements. You cannot apply width property, margin property, padding properties to inline elements. Inline elements will not allow that. Shall we see this? For example, I have an I with some content called JavaScript, and style is equal to BORD, or sorry, border is 1px solid. It looks like this. Accepted. But if I apply width is equal to 300 pixel, it says Konebetu Evernu antundi. I have given width to JavaScript division, but it is not coming. Okay, theek hai, no problem. Let me give margin. So it is taking margin from the left and right, but not from the top. It's not taking the margin from the top. Can you see that? Okay. Let me apply this here. I'll tell you what is the reason. పైనుంచి మార్జిన్ తీసుకుంటుంది అది, తీసుకోవట్లే. లెఫ్ట్ టు రైట్ ఓకే, బట్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో మార్జిన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద టాప్. అండ్ దెన్ if I apply padding, this is overlapping the other elements also, right? So inline, by applying box model properties to inline elements, they will behave weird. Okay. Yeah, definitely, even after converting the division into inline block, you need to apply some width. ఒక కామన్ విడ్త్ అనేది అవసరం అవుతుంది మనకి. ఎట్లాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్స్ లో అవసరం అవుతుంది? If you see, when I am displaying these main pages, main things, I need the common width for these three boxes. Do I need the common space for these three boxes or not? Yes or no? You go anywhere, you need common width. You need the same width for these three boxes also. Otherwise 10 companies will come only up to this level. You need definitely the common width for, yeah, here also there should be common width. Okay, height is different, that is not a problem, but here common width should be given properly. So how do you apply? Endukante ippudu callers doesn't have more number of content, so it should not occupy only the amount it needed. And okay, anyways, padding margin to sariga apply cheyalemu. So etti paristhitilo we need to convert the block level elements to inline elements, for inline block elements for sure, to apply the width, height and margin properties. And why don't we use the directly block elements? ఎందుకు మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలి? బ్లాక్ ఎలిమెంట్ గానే ఉంచేసుకోవచ్చు కదా.
Sometimes we need to design side by side.
If you make address as block element, it will occupy full width of the page, correct? ప్రతిసారి ఇంకా full width. That's the problem. So we need a combination. Yes, this is about your basics of box model. What is this? Basics of box model. Compromise కాకుండా బాక్స్ మోడల్ గురించి మొత్తం చెప్పాను నేను. అంటే ఇంకా ఉన్నాయి ప్రాపర్టీస్, కానీ ఎంతవరకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలగాలో అంతవరకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసి మొత్తం చెప్పాను. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దిస్, ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ మ్యాక్స్ విడ్త్, మిన్ విడ్త్, మ్యాక్స్ హైట్, మిన్ హైట్. ఓకే, యాక్చువల్ విడ్త్ ఆఫ్ ద పేజ్. నేను ఒక టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ పంపించాను నిన్న, ఐ థింక్ సో. ఈరోజు ఇంకొక టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ కూడా పంపిస్తాను మీకు, ఇంకొక 2-3 టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ పంపిస్తాను. సో వాటిలో ఉన్నది కూడా చదివి రెడీగా ఉండండి. ఓకే, So tomorrow, as usual, I would like to start with the JavaScript, but don't worry, I will take a separate class on CSS on Sunday. Not me, one more faculty is also there. He will cover up some practical assignments on these box model, but the rest of the CSS. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to start the JavaScript. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. See you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day.